This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Help is on the way to flood-ravaged communities, both physical and financial. Premier Wabkanu says people can and should start repairs to homes and businesses, and the support will come. This is all in the effort to help people recover from major summer storms. Premier Wabkanu announced about $40 million worth of help for Manitobans affected by the storms and flooding between June 6th and July 1st. 1,800 people have already applied for disaster financial assistance. The Premier says $500 checks are being mailed out right away to help those people in the interim. For those who didn't have insurance, the province plans to roll out a new flood recovery program. But for many, it's not just the money. They need help with the massive cleanup. CBC's Bartley Kivas joins us in studio. And Bartley, people dealing with floodwaters have been waiting weeks to learn if and when help is coming. So what did the Premier have to say?
Well, Premier Wabkanu called the storms Manitoba just experienced unprecedented, and he said that municipalities and homeowners could no longer afford to wait months for financial help. So he announced a package of programs to help everybody flood affected from the Parkland to the Red River Valley. We caught up with some of them.
Jackie and Dean Moran are trying to clean up. Their home near Grandview was flooded up to the windows on June 30th when stormwater rolled off Duck Mountain and engorged the Valley River. Now almost everything they own is soggy or destroyed, a predicament facing hundreds of homes in the Parkland region.
This stuff's toast. It's going to go to the garbage.
We knew our house and garage needed to be cleaned up, but we didn't think it was going to happen this way.
The Morans say friends and neighbors have been amazing, but they are looking for more help.
Kind of was hoping DFA would do something, get out here and give us direction.
That direction came today from the Premier. He told anyone who's already filed a disaster financial assistance application to document all damage and start work immediately. He told anyone who has insurance to file a claim, and anyone who doesn't have insurance, they could be eligible for a new one-time program.
One of the reasons we're rolling out this additional layer of response is in some of these communities, they had a 1 in 10,000 year flood event. A 1 in 25,000 year flood event.
The provincial official responsible for emergency management explained how this will work for homeowners and tenants.
The maximum amount of assistance would be based on the assessed value of a home or the cost to repair damages, whichever is lesser.
As for people who have filed for disaster assistance, officials on the ground say they will get to everyone to assess their claim.
I know that people sometimes feel that they've been forgotten about, but I will say, hand on heart, I guarantee they have not been forgotten about.
Canoe also said $500 checks are in the mail for disaster assistance claimants. He also announced the province has set aside $15 million to match private donations to the Canadian Red Cross bound for flood-affected Manitobans. The Premier also said $8 million, up from $5 million, is headed directly to flood-affected municipalities.
So Bartley, do we know yet how many properties have been affected by floods and how much damage is actually out there?
Well, the province doesn't have a handle on a specific number for homes or businesses, but we did hear late this afternoon that of the communities that had mandatory evacuations, 101 homes and 250 people have applied for emergency social assistance. Now, Canoe also estimated, based on previous years, that infrastructure damage could be somewhere in the range of $300 million.
So we also heard earlier this week that Dauphin's Hospital is expected to be closed for months, but is there more of a definitive timeline?
Canoe said he received an estimate of getting it back open in 9 to 12 months, and he called that not acceptable and said he wanted to find another way to get it open, but that way will not happen with the military. The Canadian Armed Forces announced today they are leaving the Parkland.
All right, thank you, Bartley. The Manitoba Métis Federation is taking another big step as it expands its real estate footprint in downtown Winnipeg. The group has scooped up a long vacant property and now has its sights set on another iconic historic property. CBC's Mike Arsenault reports.
The former National Research Council of Canada properties at the corner of Ellis and Balmoral have been vacant for more than a decade. Friday, the Manitoba Métis Federation announced it purchased the space, adding to its footprint in downtown Winnipeg.
The variety of opportunities that exist in this building is phenomenal.
David Chartrand says the space will be used to house the Métis Child and Family Services Authority, a training program for licensed practical nursing, an MRI machine, and 70 laboratory spaces that will be rented out.
I believe as a Métis government, our own government should have the right to go into healthcare and provide services to all Manitobans.
Andrea Ladisser is excited about the potential of the new lab space. She's president and CEO of the Bioscience Association of Manitoba. She says most of the province's lab space is in hospitals and academic institutions, and this new private facility will encourage more companies to do research here.
You could have, for example, a company that maybe wants to take over a whole floor or 2 floors. There's enough assets here, enough space to really make a lot of options for companies to consider.
The former NRC site is the latest purchase by the MMF, whose downtown property portfolio already exceeds 1 million square feet. It includes the former Bank of Montreal building at Portage and Main, the former Bell MTS Tower at 333 Main, the former Wawanesa Insurance building at 200 Main, office buildings and a parking lot on Pioneer Avenue, and the MMF home office on Henry Avenue. MMF is also looking at buying the Fort Garry Hotel, which has been up for sale twice in the past 7 years. Mayor Scott Gillingham says MMF's acquisitions are contributing to his goal of revitalizing downtown.
It's been a priority of mine to see Winnipeg's downtown strengthened and renewed and revitalized, but it requires partners to be at the table, and so I want to credit the MMF.
The Métis Federation is also speaking with the University of Winnipeg to see if the former NRC site would fit into any of their expansion plans. Mike Arsenault, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A man has pleaded guilty to causing a crash last year in the RM of Portage La Prairie that killed a 28-year-old woman. The crash claimed the life of Kelly Verway. It happened on January 15th, 2025. RCMP later arrested 25-year-old James Hilton. Court heard Hilton was in a stolen truck and had meth in his system at the time. After the crash, he fled in a second vehicle, telling police he panicked. Prosecutors say they plan to ask for a 7-year sentence. With some incumbents not running in Steinbach, City Council will soon look a little different. CBC's Christopher Garreau shows us how 2 candidates from its booming immigrant community hope to be that change.
Steinbach's population has doubled in 20 years, driven largely by immigration. Now, for the first time, voters will have a chance to choose from 2 city council candidates from that immigrant community, which has helped turn Steinbach into Manitoba's 3rd largest city.
Mitesh Kumar moved to Canada from India 20 years ago. He says the historically Mennonite community is a draw for people from all over the world because of its culture.
I think what it was great. It has worked. That's why we are here. That's why we get mentioned everywhere, all of the Canada, in many positive ways. So that has its own importance. I personally don't take it from just like someone newcomers coming in. Like, I am part of the community.
Kumar unsuccessfully ran for council in 2018. With at least 2 long-serving councillors dropping out, he says voters are ready for someone new to take those seats. Greg Carlos, Steinbach's first Filipino candidate, agrees. 40% of the city's population is 1st or 2nd generation Canadian.
I really do believe that a new face, a new perspective, new background will be a great opportunity for Steinbach to grow more.
Carlos's family moved here in 2007, drawn by its culture of faith and safety. He says newcomers are essential to Steinbach's population, economic, and cultural growth.
I think it attracts a lot of people because they know that it's about culture. It's about heritage, and this is who we are, and they feel that they are welcome because we welcome them.
Nominations for municipal elections are open until September 22nd. Election day is October 28th. Christopher Garreau, CBC News, Steinbach.
All right, Riley's in now. Riley, I know you've got a busy weather map behind you with all of that color. It is going to be a hot and humid weekend.
Yeah, for sure. And in some cases, particularly for the very young, the very old, the vulnerable population, those that maybe don't have air conditioning in their homes, this could be a dangerous heat as we get into the weekend. I don't want to take away from the fact that we have gone through a period of very severe weather, the tornadoes, the flooding that we've seen, some of the very heavy rain as well that we've seen over the past month. some folks are really looking forward to a really hot weekend to really help dry things out, but this is a heat that will last. So an orange level heat warning in place for much of southern Manitoba, Brandon, Winnipeg included in this because of the fact that this will not just last into the middle of next week, but temperatures mid to high 30s, humidex values mid 40s, not a lot of relief coming either through the overnight hours. Further north, Swan River, the northern Interlake and into northwestern Ontario, this is a yellow level heat warning. Still hot, but not as hot as we head into the weekend. And just giving you a look at some of those humidex values. This is where we're looking into the 45 plus range. This is when things start to get dangerous when you're outside for any prolonged period of time. I'll go into all the details on this and when we get some relief when I come back in just a bit.
All right, we'll be keeping an eye on that. Thank you, Riley.
You're welcome.
A good reminder to find some shade, stay hydrated, and get into some air conditioning this weekend when you have a chance. We have much more ahead right after this. Stay with us. Music, food, and high temperatures. For the next few days, thousands of people will be in Birds Hill Provincial Park for Winnipeg Folk Festival. But a heat wave pushing through the province could put a damper on some people's plans. if they don't find a way to beat the heat. CBC's Mike Arsenault reports.
Eager folkers are slowly piling into Birds Hill Park for the 51st Winnipeg Folk Fest. And here, the only thing hotter than the musicians is the weather. Temperatures are expected to be in the mid-30s this weekend, so I asked attendees how they plan to keep cool. Zafar Sakreni has been going to Folk Fest for the past 15 years. He says the forecast hasn't deterred him from enjoying the weekend.
You never really know what to expect. It always rains at least once at Folk Fest, so you got to just be prepared for all the elements.
Environment and Climate Change Canada issued a special weather statement warning most of southern Manitoba and Saskatchewan of a weekend-long heat event. Sunday's humidex could reach as high as 45. Sakrani says he's prepared.
Check in with yourself. Be comfortable. Don't forget to drink water and, find shade.
Gavin Doyle-Gould and Logan McConomy didn't let anything stop them from attending, not even crutches.
I can't miss this. It's too good of an experience. I can crutch around. It's a good workout all weekend.
They say they'll have all they need to beat the heat.
Shower constantly, always have water around you, stuff like that. Sunscreen's important, yes.
We just bought a big water jug from Canadian Tire. We went out there, got it, we're ready.
Folkfest's executive director Valerie Shantz says this year is a sellout, and they're expecting roughly 15,000 people each night. She says rain or shine, the festival will go ahead as planned.
I encourage people to just prepare accordingly. So first, make sure you have our app, because on our app we will do notifications if there's weather coming, or just to remind people to drink water. Do all the things that you know you need to do in the heat.
Shantz says postponing or canceling shows wouldn't be fair to the artist or the attendees, who have traveled from other provinces and countries to attend. She says if the heat becomes too much, people should go to the first aid tent and get help. Mike Arsenault, CBC News, Birds Hill Provincial Park.
So many people going to be out enjoying the festival, but again, that reminder, this can be very dangerous heat if you are not prepared for it.
Absolutely, and it's also about knowing the signs of heat exhaustion and heat stroke, and when to take a break when you're in the heat. Like I was saying earlier, it's going to be a hot weekend. A lot of people have been waiting for some of the summertime heat, right? But you just have to do it in moderation, right? So let's take a look at some of the symptoms of heat exhaustion. These are things to watch out for and when to start to take a break. When you start to feel a headache or dizzy if you've been out in the sun for a while, nausea if you're thirsty or your urine is dark, and intense fatigue. So that's a sign of heat exhaustion. If these symptoms get worse, that's a symptom of heat stroke, and that's when you need to seek emergency medical care, call 911. When you start to see red, hot skin on either yourself or someone you love, confusion, change in consciousness, that is all stuff that you should be watching out for as we get through the weekend here, especially with a heat event that will be of a long duration, not just a couple of days, but lasting into the middle of next week at this point. So temperatures today, 29 degrees in Winnipeg, 28 through Dauphin, Brandon, humidity feeling closer to 35 through the afternoon, Thompson 19 degrees, Gillam at 21. What is causing all of this is partially an area of high pressure parked over the southwest U.S., and this is actually leading to temperatures in parts of the southern U.S., 40 degrees plus through the afternoon hours. So it's created this ridge in the jet stream. That's allowing some of that air to funnel in, but the jet stream itself, the storm track, also pushing some active weather into parts of central and northern Manitoba as we get through the weekend as well. So a couple of different things happening. High pressure close to the surface really helping keep things nice and sunny through much of the province today. Bit of thunderstorm activity starting to push into parts of Saskatchewan. I'm not expecting any of that to have any real impact on our province, although we could see some isolated showers or some thunderstorms overnight for places like Swan River into Grand Rapids, for example. Fairly short-lived in nature as we get into the night tonight. Into the morning tomorrow, general mainly sunny sky across much of the province. We could see the ingredients are there with some of that upper level lift from the jet stream, some of those stronger upper level winds supporting the risk of some thunderstorms into northern parts of the province as we get through overnight into Sunday morning as well. But generally speaking, hot and humid is the story as we get through the weekend, pretty much province-wide once we get into Sunday. So Saturday's temperatures 33 to 35 across southern Manitoba, feeling closer to the low 40s with the humidity. Could be a bit hazy in parts of northern Manitoba, and into Sunday, Brittany, up to 38 possibly along the international border, and feeling closer to 45 with the humidex.
All right, thank you, Riley.
You're welcome.
A Canadian soldier who was missing for more than a century has finally been laid to rest. Private Albert Detmold was killed during the First World War, and now remains that were discovered in France more than 5 years ago have finally been identified as his. The CBC's Briar Stewart has more.
At the cemetery in Lausanne in northern France, you have row upon row of headstones marking the sites of graves for Commonwealth soldiers, most of whom died during the First World War. And many of the graves are marked with names and rank, but some of them say here lies a soldier that's not identified. And we know that after the First World War, several thousand Canadians were listed as missing and presumed dead. The vast majority of those will likely never be identified, but each year across France, dozens of sets of remains are discovered in areas that were once battlefields. And there is a site of a major construction project, a hospital which has been in the works for years, where crews have found more than 120 sets of remains. Among the discoveries there were remains that were eventually identified to be that of Private Albert Detmold. Now, he was originally born in Germany. He immigrated to England and ended up settling on a homestead in Manitoba before he enlisted with the Canadian forces during the First World War. And how researchers identified him was that he was found with several artifacts, and by using military records and what they knew about him, they were able to trace his family and confirm it with DNA.
To think that they've connected the dots, like they said, through DNA, anthropology, history, the whole bit. It's just been amazing to see how the process. Representing the family has just been such an honor, and seeing what everybody has put in effort to identify the remains has been phenomenal.
His interment at the cemetery was unique because it included both the minister and a rabbi. Detmold grew up in a Jewish family, but when he enlisted with the Canadian forces, he wrote down that he was Presbyterian. There is some thought that this was deliberate because he was perhaps trying to avoid discrimination, but investigators say there are missing pieces to the puzzle, information that they will likely never know, and that goes the same for all of these cases that they're trying to piece together and all of the remains that they're trying to identify. Briar Stewart, CBC News, Lausanne, France.
The Canadian Fossil Discovery Centre in Morden has a new specimen on display. The Styxosaurus reconstruction was months in the making. This long-necked plesiosaur was found in 1983 at North Cox Farm near Miami, Manitoba. The exhibit displays pieces of the skeleton alongside a 3D printed reconstruction of the reptile. The process took 8 months to complete, and visitors are already excited to check it out.
This dinosaur is really cool. I really liked it. I didn't know what a Styxosaurus was until today, looking at that picture. I really liked it.
The Fossil Discovery Centre is holding a naming contest for the Styxosaurus, with the winner taking home themed goodies. Well, have you ever lost your phone? What about for 3 years? Up next, the underwater discovery and reunion. Stay with us.
All right, you know I couldn't leave you for the weekend without Feline Friday, and tonight we have Benny from Edna, and by the way, Benny has been really looking forward to some of the warm temperatures, and I hope that these temperatures aren't too warm. Keep an eye on your pets this weekend as well, because they can be impacted by some of this heat as well. Send your pictures to talkback at cbc.ca. 33 degrees into the afternoon in Winnipeg. Could be a bit breezy, feeling closer to 40 with the humidity. Here's your 7-day forecast, up to 35 for Sunday, 34 into Monday. That heat remaining in place as we get into the beginning of the work week, and temperatures remaining in the high 20s right into the middle of the week once again. Very quickly, I've got a couple of fairs and rodeos to tell you about. The fair in Carman happening this weekend, up to 36 by Sunday. And in Selkirk, looking at the rodeo happening, 34, 35 degrees. It's going to be very hot out there. Drink lots of water. Well, if you drop your phone in the water, you might think it's gone forever.
But a free diver in Halifax recently found a phone in a lake that had been lost for 3 years. And, Riley, it still worked.
Wow.
Here's your Daily Lift.
Sean McMullen, known to his followers online as Saltwater Sean, finds a lot of stuff underwater.
I'm a free diver, explorer. I clean up the oceans, lakes, and rivers of the province, and occasionally I help people find their phones that are lost. Someone contacted me to go find one of their phones that they had lost in the Shuby Park Canal a couple of weeks ago. So I went and I found their phone for them, and I still had some time, so I decided to go over to another dock. And I found 2 more phones. I didn't even know which ones these are, so I'm going to see if I can actually get these charged and back to the owner.
After drying the phones out and charging them, one of them actually turned on.
There was a picture of a dude on the phone, and I was like, I think I can get this maybe back to him.
So he put the call out on Facebook, and within a few days, he met up with the phone's owner.
We have the phone back that was lost 3 years ago. It was awesome. It was just so cool to get something back that was lost to someone who thought it was completely gone. Can you imagine being at home and then getting a message be like, oh, some guy found your phone that you lost 3 years ago?
So if you've lost a phone in the last 3 years, don't give up hope. Linus Mulheron, CBC News, Halifax.
I wonder how many pairs of glasses and rings and jewelry of the sorts that guy has found, and probably some people that are very happy to have their items back.
Especially when you think about looking back at the camera.
Oh my goodness, right?
After all that time.
Stay safe this weekend. It is going to be a hot one out there.
Yeah, stay cool.
We'll see you back here Monday.
See ya.